What's up, guys? So I'm on top of our 2021 Forest River E-Pro. It's a about a 20-foot travel trailer we bought a couple months ago to extend our road trips and camping, and it's great. It has bunk beds for the kids. It fits all of us great, and it came pre-wired with a 190-watt solar panel, which is awesome. But I like more solar, more power, so I bought 2 more panels, and today's video I'm going to be attempting to install those panels in under 2 hours, start to finish, on top of the camper. So I've got the panels, I've got my buddy, he's going to help me lift them up, and I'm going to go through the process and what's needed to install solar panels on the roof of your RV or camper trailer. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so the first step of the process is to unbox your solar panels and inspect them, make sure there's no damage from shipping. And then also you want to inspect, I know it's crazy, but you want to inspect the actual wattage and voltage of the panels, because prior to this I'd actually ordered 24 volt panels instead of 12 volt. So I actually made a mistake on the ordering, received the wrong panels, had to send them back. So obviously for a 12 volt system you want 12 volt panels. Alright, so here I am fumbling around with the box trying to get the panels out, and I'm doing that also so I don't destroy the box, just in case I have to return them if there's any damage. So like I said, you definitely want to inspect the panels, make sure there's no crack in the glass, that the corners aren't damaged, and then again you want to double check your voltage and wattage of the panels to make sure that it is the right panel for your system. And as I said, I had made a mistake and I ordered the wrong panels before, so this is me double checking, making sure everything's correct. This is my buddy Dave. Him and I actually just bought a Dodge ProMaster 159, so one of the next build series is going to be the ProMaster build, so he's helped me with that. It's going to be an awesome build and can't wait to share that one with you. For now, Dave's going to help me lift him up on top of the camper. I know you can walk up here, but 210 pounds starts creaking. Makes me nervous. Big thanks to Dave for helping me get the panels up onto the roof. Next step is to finish unboxing the panels and then to lay them out in the location that you actually think they are going to be installed. It's kind of like a puzzle piece. You want to fit them first and get an idea of where they're going to go, measure it out so it's aesthetically and visually pleasing. Alright, what's up, guys? So yesterday we hauled the panels up here. I just spent like 5-10 minutes on them, just playing around with them, testing the voltage to see how they were going to do, make sure they worked. So they did. So there are 2 170 watt each rich solar panels that I'm going to install in parallel with the factory panel. So the factory panel is a GoPower or Go Solar. Anyway, it's a 190 watt panel, and the solar charge controller that's already installed in the E-Pro is rated for 30 amps. So with all 3 panels combined, I will be right around 530 watts and less than 30 amps. So it should be like around 27 amps or so. So it's well within the parameters of the solar controller, and it should give
quite a bit of juice to charge up the battery. So what I'm going to do today is a 1 to 2 hour install without leaving the roof of this. I'm doing everything from the roof of the trailer. I have everything I think I need here to get it done, and that's it. So it's basically mounting the panels, wiring them up, and then sealing it and calling it a day. And then obviously testing, see how they are operating down in the cabin. So that's it. So let's get to it. Right now it is 9:56, so we'll call it 10 a.m. and I will check back. Well, I'm just going to let the camera run, and we're going to see if we can get this done in an hour to 2 hours. Let's go. Okay, so before we get started, I want to show you quickly what I brought up here. This could be overkill. This is a my Ryobi ratchet. We have the sealant, zip ties, connectors, wire, 10 gauge solar cable. These are stainless steel 1/4 inch by 20 nuts and bolts. So whatever the installation kit came with, I've upgraded it. I mean, these are better than what it comes with the kit. And we have also, these are upgraded. So these are exterior coated self-tapping screws. So this will go down into the roof. Hoping I don't puncture the ceiling. So we'll find out. We have the brackets, so 8 mounting brackets, 4 for each panel. Some heat shrink tubing just in case. The Dremel heat gun in case I need the heat shrink. I don't think I will. And then this is the 3-to-1 adapter for this will just tie directly into the factory point, so this makes it super easy on getting it done. And we have a problem. They sent me never fails. So here's the problem. These are 2 positive adapters. The exact same adapter, positive, on both sides. So I'm not going to be able to finish this today. I'm not going to be able to test it. Thank you, Amazon, for messing this up. So now I have to go back and look and order a female version of this. It makes no sense whatsoever why they would send 2 positive of the exact same thing. And I'd previously ordered this before. I got a positive and negative. And here we go. All right, first issue.
With any project, you're going to run into roadblocks. And while it's extremely frustrating, you've got to have patience and just kind of roll with it. There's always something that can be done. And in this case, I'm just placing the order on Amazon. And luckily, I live in Miami, so I get next day or 2-day shipping. So it'll be here in a day or 2 so I can finish things up. And today is not a total loss because I have plenty of things to do, and at least I can knock out most of the things while I'm waiting for the parts to come in. So again, just have some patience, roll with it, and stick and move. So the first part of the process is installing the mounting brackets or mounting feet that will attach the solar panel to the roof of your camper trailer. And most panels do not come with these, so if you are doing a solar upgrade, I suggest ordering the like a kit that includes the brackets and includes the connectors as well. And then also you may have to get, like in my case, I used upgraded stainless steel nuts and bolts. I have those handy from my other build, so it was something I had laying around, and rather than using the crappy ones that it came with in the kit, I wanted to use the stainless steel ones. So I know I'm never going to have issues with those. And again, this is something that could easily be done on the ground. Actually, it would have been way easier to do on the ground on a table. But you know, the point of this video was I wanted to see if I could do this whole install, 2 hours or less on top of the trailer. The right tools make all the difference, people. So this is basically the same stuff that they use all over the top of the RV. So we're going to use the same stuff, put it on, and this should keep it waterproof. So one thing I just noticed about the factory install is, let me show you. So they use the butyl tape first, then they put this, and then they just did lap sealant over the top. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Right, I was going to do lap sealant, screw, then lap sealant, but this is how they did it, so I think that's how I should do it. This is the idea behind this. This will go down as a first layer. Then we'll use the lap sealant. It also gives it like a cushion. Yes. Gotta be careful. You don't want to damage the roof. Is like got a rubber layer, so you want to be careful with that. So I am going to stick this on and then place it down. Be much easier that way. Trim off any extra. Okay. Again, yeah, I mean, there's two ways to do this. You could actually just put the lap sealant and then the screw and then the lap sealant on top, but I'm going with the way the factory did it. Alright, so now, perfect in place. So I have all the butyl tape on the mounting brackets, and I'm just positioning the solar panel into place, checking for alignment, and once it's in place, then I'm going to start screwing everything down. The one I'm really going to have an issue with is that corner piece right over here. 40 minutes in. And what I'm going to do also is I want to actually, I'm going to screw this in and then go down and check, make sure I didn't go through the roof or anything. Alright, I'll be back. I got the ladder and decided to pre-drill all the holes with just a very small drill bit, obviously smaller than the screws themselves, and I just wanted to make sure that the screws had as much bite as possible into the roof. A couple of them did hit some framework, so I know that those were solid, but a couple was just into the actual plywood on the roof.
All right, cool. That side's done. We're gonna do those, and we're gonna get this done in under 2 hours.
At this point, the outer brackets are attached to the roof of the camper. Now moving on to the inner brackets that are toward the middle of the camper. And again, just drilling my pilot holes and then installing the 1.25" exterior decking screws that I got from Home Depot. They're pretty beefy, so they provide a lot of bite into the actual plywood into the roof of the camper, so I'm not worried about them pulling out. And then also the butyl tape itself does somewhat act like an adhesive because it is very sticky, so a combination of the screw with the butyl tape, it definitely gives a good seal for the top of the camper. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up mounting these 4 on the inner part and then move to the second panel and finish that as well. Gave a couple test tugs on the first panel and it felt pretty good, so just finishing up with the last screw. Next, I'm moving on to the second panel, as in the same process before. First, I'm going to flip the panel over and install add the butyl tape to the bottom of the brackets. One thing I don't think I did cover is that I actually alternated the positioning of the brackets so I could get them as close together as possible. And you'll see that in a later part of the video because I wanted to kind of minimize the gap between the 2 panels. So now, just like before, I'm positioning the panel, getting it into the right spot, making sure that it's all squared up and it looks aesthetically pleasing to the eye, especially for people with OCD like me. And once I got it placed, then I went ahead, I didn't film this part, but I went ahead and screwed everything down and finished the install of that part. So now we're going to jump to the finished product. So again, we have the butyl tape, then we have the exterior self-tapping screws. So those are awesome. So everything's in here. So now what I'm going to do is go right over the top of it with the lap sealant and just cover everything, go all the way around, get it nice and covered, and then do the wiring. So I'll check back in a few minutes here. Also, we are at the 1 hour mark. So it is now 11 o'clock and I should be able to get this wrapped up in the next 30 minutes. So let's do it. Okay, so we put a liberal amount of the lap sealant on, covered all the way around, so should be good to go there. And this takes about 5 minutes to flash, and then, you know, obviously it's going to take 24 to 48 hours to cure. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and wire everything up and then wait for the new connectors to come in. So I'll have to finish things up tomorrow. So next up, let's do the wiring. So here we are on my favorite part of the build, which is the wiring process. I know for most people it's either scary or boring. Somehow I find it very therapeutic, and I just like to relax, take my time, and plan everything out, make sure I have measured my cable lengths. I like to minimize waste of cables, and then I also use a ton of zip ties. I get them at Harbor Freight. You can get them super cheap, and to me they serve a couple functions. They keep the cables tightly wrapped together. They help prevent them from ever coming apart, and then also it just makes it look much cleaner when you're done with the install. Now what I'm doing is running the cables alongside of the solar panel, because I actually use the edge of the panel to hold the wires in place, and I use these things off of Amazon. I'll have the link below to attach the zip ties and the cables directly to the side of the panel. They work great. All right. Just finished wiring everything up, what we got going on here. So we have the positive coming in here, so it's a 3-way to 1, negative 3-way to 1. This is a factory connection, factory 190 watt. Wires go neatly here, all along there, and then those are the two 170 watt panels just installed. So we're gonna go downstairs and check to see how many amps we have coming in now that all three are connected in parallel. All right, so it is almost noon. The sun is out, and look at this. We are getting full power. Woo! That makes me super happy, super psyched. Batteries obviously topped off, so mission accomplished with the 530 watts of solar, kicking butt. Very excited. So that is going to wrap things up. My 2.5 hour solar install, a success. Very excited. Thanks for watching. Love it. All right. Well, that's going to wrap things up on this video. Thank you so much again for watching. If you like my content, please hit that subscribe button. I've got a lot of projects coming up, including Cyborg, which is a chopped Chevy Astro that I'm turning into the ultimate off-road camper trailer for me and my family. So that is going to be a fun series, probably going to be about 3 or 4 videos of that at least. And I also have the ProMaster build coming up and a couple other projects in the works. So again, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Here's a little sneak peek on the ProMaster build and Cyborg. Look at that.